Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
It's Monday, which means it's Monday morning with Merle and Patty, because this is Merle and I am Patty.
Ta-da! And one of the things, we have a topic today that we're going to discuss. We also want to remind you that we have a program that's coming up in November that you would be very interested in, or maybe you wouldn't. But
if you're single and you're in the Los Angeles area, maybe you would. If you're looking for love.
This is single women.
Single women.
Who are, sorry, Raymond.
You can't come.
But you may know somebody that it would be appropriate for.
Yeah.
Our first
Carl.
two people are boys.
We'll do one for men one day when we figure out.
Yes. Yes. But you do know, you may know some women that are single, successful, and they are ready to seek out somebody to spend the rest of their life with. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. But we'll talk more about that later. Meanwhile, we have a topic for today that, well, I think it's kind of of course, I think it's kind of interesting.
She came up with it.
Well, wait a second. It came out as a Plato, quotation from Plato. It is totally not a quotation from Plato. It doesn't make any sense that it would be. But it is. If you keep giving up on people too quickly, you may miss out on some great people.
And that is true. That is true. One little thing wrong, one little first bad impression or second bad impression.
Well, and it depends. You know, if this is somebody new, you're going to have your antenna up and you want to pay attention to how he or she makes you feel. I think that's important. But a lot of times, whether it's our spouse, whether it's our boyfriend, girlfriend, whether it's our friend, we get really kind of fussy about well, my gosh, they're not perfect. They have messed up. That's it. That's it. Goodbye.
Yes. And we take it very personally. Again, we always get to that thing. It's personal, that they're being like that. It's to us, about us, because of us.
Right.
To us.
Right. But it turns out that they're just being that way.
So that's how they are.
Yes.
Right.
And you pick them as a friend already. So they must have some other good things aside from this thing that isn't terrific or perfect. So don't give up on them too quickly.
Right. You know.
And I can tell you a story about that.
Please do.
My husband has a friend who was just recently passed, but he has been a friend with Nathan for longer than we are married, and we're married 52 years, which is bizarre. I just thought I'd mention that. And since I'm barely 49, give me a break here.
Married before she was born.
Exactly. And he asked him to do him a favor. Okay, so I'll give the details. The details is we were opening a new pharmacy. It needed some construction work. It needed a couple of desks made for employees to work at and things like that. And his friend happens to be the son of a what do you call it? Not a construction
contractor.
Woodworker. A contractor, definitely. And he was really good at all, and he was artistic. This was his area. Except Nathan did know that this area that he did his own stuff really well. But so anyway, he asked him to do the desks and the shelves and whatever, and Eddie did them. His friend did them, and they were adequate, but they didn't have that extra stuff. They didn't have the nice drawer pulls. They didn't do all the extra stuff that Eddie would have done if it was his. And my husband got so angry. He was so angry. He said, that's it. I don't want to see him anymore. Blah. I just realized my husband's a drama queen.
Just now?
I talk about slow learner. And he was incredibly upset. Well, this was somebody that had been his friend for many years. And I said, well, wait, just a second here. Is this something new? I mean, didn't you know that that's kind of how he was? He was kind of kept to the special extra carpentry kind of stuff to himself and what he did. Didn't you know that? Well, yeah. Well, then why are you mad? Because he's being who he is. Well, but for me, hey, you knew it all along. You've been his friend all this time, even though that's been one of his characteristics. It's an imperfection of his. But it's not new, and he didn't do it to you. He did it because that's who he is. And, he listened to me.
Ah.
A husband listened to a wife. What would you
Every
believe?
50 years. Once.
Oh, it's going to be a while before the next one. Yeah.
And so he stayed with his friend? He didn't end up his friendship?
Yes. Yes. And he still misses him. It's just been like a year or two.
Oh.
But yes, he was a good friend. He was a great friend. And they loved each other. And that's more important than being perfect.
Yeah. And the other thing that I'm seeing, that's a beautiful story, but people also, in our weird social media world, in our world of texting, things are misinterpreted. I constantly get, so-and-so typed me this, and they're ready to get mad at them and into a friendship over words on a text. You can't get intonation. You don't get energy. Live speaking, you get it. Phone, you get it a little bit. Typing something that was meant in jest or a joke sounds like it's real, or vice versa. Anything along the way. And I, all the time, get people, look at what she texted me, or look at what she emailed me. They are horrible. It's like, that's giving up way too fast. You didn't even have a real conversation on it.
And since you're talking about texting and things, please know that being sarcastic isn't necessarily picked up in a text. And if you're going to say something that you think is funny, at least after it, the least you can do is put ha ha
or LOL
or yes or
I was joking, really. Because it's just not deciphered. There's no energy behind the letters.
Yes.
So yes. Or one little thing, I've seen things, again, I'm a nightlife person a lot. One thing somebody misunderstands one person, at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. in a club. They've probably had a couple of cocktails, and then she snubbed me. He did this. It's like, they probably didn't even see you. And we just make these assumptions. We are all storytellers in the worst degree. We create all this meaning to everything that probably has none whatsoever.
Very important to know. And probably one of the things that we'll cover in our
workshop, Single, Successful, and Seeking.
This may not be a program for you.
Or it may.
Or maybe it is.
But if you're in the greater LA area and you are a female looking for love, or you want to change how you find love, or change the kind of people you usually do, it's really successful. We've had great success with it in the past.
Yes.
And
yes, if you're really serious about being where you are, and this is for women who are already happy. They're not looking for somebody to make them happy. This is, they are happy, but they're so happy they want to share.
Right.
And if that might be you, and that might be somebody you know. we can help you with that.
Now, I'm hearing people right now go, well, I'm only a little bit happy. You can come too. We'll teach you how to be happy. We'll teach you how to be happy on your own. That's one of the whole things of this whole workshop. And then you share that happiness with somebody else versus getting somebody else. So you can, I want to be that happy, or that successful. Just, this is who I am and this is good. Now I want to add something in. Raymond said, posting personal problems online and putting your spouse or significant other on blast or social media, wrong way. Oh yeah.
So totally
we
correct.
say things on, say things and they're angry. Saying it out loud is bad enough. Putting it on typing where it's really hard to be deleted and the whole world sees it.
So that reminds me of another story.
Still us.
I was the president of association, and a really big person in the association made me so angry I was ready to quit. And I had a friend that said, now listen, write it out. Write out, if you're going to quit, you better explain it completely thoroughly. And so I wrote an email that was absolutely clear. Everything that person did wrong and what I was leaving. And I said, okay, this was my friend. I said to my friend, so let me read it to you. And I read it to her. She said, that's fabulous. That is exactly how you feel. Now tear it up and write the one you're actually going to say. And only I would change that just a little bit for social media. I would say, now tear it up and go
delete
make
it.
Dinner. Yeah, delete it. Don't express those feelings publicly, because your feelings will change and you won't necessarily want to see that or anyone else to see that. So that's
right. And it's not making them look bad. It's making you look bad.
What about that? That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
It's more reflection on you than them. It's just think about it.
Yeah, no, you have a right to get angry. Everybody can get angry. And my friend that said, okay, now, she encouraged me so much to write that letter, to be really specific. I'm like, you can see me typing. It was very specific. Very funny typing.
Yeah. Not on her phone, because that would be like this.
No, it's like this on a phone. So she was really pushing me to get it all out. And my jaw truly dropped when she said, okay, now tear it up. And it was on the computer, so of course I didn't. But I printed it out, so it makes sense. But yeah, it was really, it was a lesson. People are in your life different. That person has come and gone, but she was in my life for that lesson.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
We all have that.
Yeah.
So don't give up on people really fast. Unless they're being, cruel to you, mean, disrespectful, give up on them. But little misunderstandings, little...
Yeah, nobody is perfect. You're not perfect and nobody else is perfect.
We're perfect.
I knew.
She knew I was going to say that.
But everybody else
isn't perfect.
And that tells you what you need to do when you come across imperfection, your own or anybody else's, which is to joke about it, have a good time about it, and move on. Yeah. So we're just going to move on to our single, successful, and seeking. We have to mention that before we go, just in case it's the right thing for you. It's 3 sessions, November 3rd, 10th, and 17th. It's a Sunday from 4 to 7.
This beautiful home here in the Hollywood Hills.
Small and intimate. And if you're the right person for this workshop, you will get something out of it really important. Like
a lover.
Yes.
It's fun too. It's informational. It's fun. We do ritual. We do magic. It's a support group. It's really fun. It's not like I'm going to go sit in a lecture about man cycle. No, we are burning shit. We do, yeah.
We have a good time and we learn and move people forward. I can tell them about Megan, who is she has it's going to work out.
Yay!
Yeah.
So come back next week at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Buy our books on Amazon, Old World Magic for the Modern World, and Cracking the Relationship Code. But all are available in print, in e-copy, or in audio. And come back tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, for Merle on her own.
Merle's Pearls. If I've been married for over 50 years, I must know something about relationship. We'll cover some different relationship ideas. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. And yes, clarity. Clarity before we jump to conclusions. Thank you, Helena. What'd you say? No, I know. Clarity. We love you all. Sheila. Thank you. Hi, Sheila. Hi, everybody. Hi, Yvonne. Thank you for joining us. Come back next week. Come back tonight.
Yes.
Be good. Enjoy life.
Now, turn it off.
I'm going to push it way over here.
We can do it.